We are back, Berries fans. We have hit the end of season 3 in our Out of the Park baseball simulation. Make sure you comment down below. Go, Berries, go if you are loving these videos. So, as said, we have finished season 3. We're going to run through what the team finished like, take a look, and start building into our off season. And hopefully, the Berries can make big strides. Now, if you remember earlier this season, we said we were predicted to win 53 games. Well, that unfortunately didn't happen. We actually got to 62 wins. Hey, we went 62 and 100, still for the second year in a row, losing 100 games. In terms of our goal, we definitely did not play 500 ball. We definitely did not increase attendance to 36,000 a game. We did bring in a manager of better reputation, average reputation for Joe Girardi. That was actually the best we could find, so it is what it is. And we almost had a top 6 minor league system. We actually were rated 5th at one time. We've now dropped to 9th, which I don't really agree with, but okay, we are 9th there. But we have improved staff cohesion, and that should be a fairly simple goal for us moving forward. So we need to finish off this season here and see, oh my God, are we going to get fired or not? I really hope we're not being fired. I think we've made some progress. And we are in the playoffs, so we'll run through and see who is going to be the winner. So let's take a look at first off the playoff tree in Major League Baseball to give us a sense of who is where. So in terms of the playoff tree, we have Texas and Baltimore getting the byes, Arizona and Atlanta getting the byes. The Red Sox have a 2-1 series lead on the Mariners. The Twins currently lead the Detroit Tigers 3-0. Out in the National League, Tampa Bay leads St. Louis 2-0. And the Cubs lead the Reds 2-0. So there's our playoff picture. And we'll see who is going to be the champion this year. But as far as the Berries go, taking a look at our team, we finished the year with, I think, relatively healthy lineup in the end. Noelvi Marte came in at the trade deadline. He had a 108 OPS plus. He put up, what was it? 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, very nice 427 slug. So Noelvi Marte as our third baseman was very good. And the fact he's going to be just 25 years old moving next season, there's still a bunch of potential there. We may even use the lab bit on him. So Noelvi Marte was very good. Cody Bellinger was blah for us in his first year. He had a 99 OPS plus. He did have 25 home runs, but the production just really wasn't there. Too many strikeouts and low on base. Hopefully he can get a little higher on base next year. Josh Naylor got hurt near the end of the year. I thought he was going to have a run at 100 RBIs. Did not get there because of the injury. Finished with a 93 OPS plus and a negative WAR, and that's partly because he just doesn't play defense for us. So it is what it is. He's still making probably too much money. He's going to be 30 years old, and we've got him for another 2 seasons for sure with that player opt out in the end. But he did produce for us, and as a DH, I can live with the negative WAR because, let's face it, he's just not playing in the field. Nelson Velasquez was once again hurt part of the year again. I don't know where we're going with Velasquez. I think this is his last year of pre-arbitration, and then he gets into the arbitration. We probably bring him back for maybe 1 year. We'll see what he wants as kind of, though, maybe a 5th outfielder, backup DH type. He's just not produced the way I thought he would. Drew Gilbert, very high on Drew Gilbert. I think this is a huge pickup for us. He's going to be 26, 27 years old when we start next season. He struggled at the major league level. That's been the case in the past for him with other teams. So hopefully he can bounce back and get a little more acclimated to the Berries. Lenyon Sosa came back at the end of the year from an injury and was very good. That look at the numbers, a 92 OPS plus, but he was abysmal to start the year. The second half of the year, once he got back from injury, he was very good. Edward Julian came in to play first base for a solid contact hitter. He struggled a bit with us. Hopefully he'll be, again, more acclimated to the Berries in the second season. I'm really high on Edward Julian. Jake Rogers, our catcher, we got to do something about catching in the offseason. Make some progress there. And Averson Ortega was just banged up all year as our shortstop. Solid enough defender for us. Bad year with the bat. Again, injuries kind of cut into his season. So hopefully he can make some progress. In the starting rotation, you're going to look at the numbers and say this is really bad. But Efren Contreras had a 5.30 ERA. Outside of really 2 starts after he came up, he was really good for us. Griffin Canning did what he was supposed to do for us. He ate a lot of innings, 180 innings. It's kind of what we were hoping for. I just hope for a little better than a 5 ERA. Grayson Rodriguez is really starting to take that step forward and potentially being our ace. So that is a big thing. Yes, he lost 16 games, but the ERA just over 4 is what we're looking for. Hopefully he continues to improve. Jack Leiter was very impressive as a 5th starter actually for us. The 5.10 ERA, he got blown up a little bit at the end of the year. And Robert Gasser came in, got beat up the first couple starts for us, finished with a 5.69 ERA for us. but I think he was like 3-2, or he was very good the last part of his run with us. The losses kind of piled up, but he had a 12K game against the Twins. He was pretty good for us at times, and I think he maybe takes the next step. So I think we've got two guys in Grayson Rodriguez and Robert Gasser to really fill this rotation. And then we actually have some depth. I think Griffin Canning will probably be like a fourth or fifth starter, maybe Jack Leiter, maybe Contreras. So we're looking for one more starter in particular. And the bullpen, a little easier if I show you here. Sean Armstrong was solid enough. Hobie Milner was really, really good for us. He got beat up at times when he was pitching too much. I would like to find a back end guy to really help us here. We picked up Yuki Matsui off waivers. We'll maybe try and re-sign him. We'll see what he wants. Carmen Mladzinski was also very good. Chad Dallas was solid. Bryce Montez de Oca kind of got beat up in the second half, but was solid enough through the year. And then we have some other guys who filled out long relief that just weren't very good. So there's what I have for the Berries. Off-season picture, I think we really have to upgrade at catcher is something we need to make some changes at for sure. The rest of the lineup, maybe an outfielder, maybe another bat, something to get us going. But for the most part, not too bad. I think we need at least one, maybe two pitchers. Definitely a couple guys in the bullpen, probably another starter or two. So it's going to be a focus on pitching, I think, in the offseason here. But I think there's progress to be made. We have some guys that aren't making a huge amount of money. We take a look at our front office. We can take a look at the salaries. We're projected this year at $119.7 million for next season and going into 2027. Bellinger and Naylor are the big money guys, of course, and there starts getting more guys in terms of arbitration. Now, the arbitration cases will be interesting. There's probably going to be some guys we just kind of let walk. I mean, a guy like Kyle Muller is going to be gone anyway. It's Joel Payamp. So some of these free agents will walk, and we will see what comes of arbitration. And as some of our guys are really hitting it for the first year, so they won't be a huge bump up, but they are going to be making more money, and we'll see what we can add. First round of the playoffs can complete. Boston will advance to play Texas. Minnesota advances to play Baltimore. You got Tampa Bay and Arizona, as well as the Braves and Cubs. Semifinal time, the Orioles and Texas Rangers are going to lock up, as well as the Braves and D-backs in the National League. We have our World Series matchup, the Baltimore Orioles and the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll take a look at both rosters. There you see the Orioles, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday, Jazz Chisholm, Kobe Mayo, Josh Bell, Cedric Mullins, Adley Rushman, Jordan Westbrook, Austin Hayes. You can see they have a tremendous rotation. Burns, Cease, Snell, and Luzardo. Holy, Felix Bautista, Uribe Bradish. They have quite the team. And we take a look at the D-backs. Perdomo, Akil Baddoo, Jordan Lawler, Tommy Troy, Christian Walker, Moncada, Brannigan, Drew Jones, Pablo Aliendo is their catcher. Okay. Not sure what happened to Gabriel Moreno, but Zach Gallen, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Fott, Cole Reagans is a star for them. Lumin Lin is the closer, a Japanese closer, I believe. Jose Leclerc, Casey Mize, Sam Reverse, Nick Sandlin. So the D-backs have definitely changed a fair bit. And the Orioles really not so much, except in that starting rotation, which is just gross. What a team they've built. There you have it. I wouldn't have guessed that. The 2026 World Series champion is the Arizona Diamondbacks. I believe we had the Minnesota Twins the first year, the Reds in year 2, and now here in year 3 in 2026, the D-backs beat that vaunted Baltimore Orioles lineup and rotation and win the 2026 World Series. So that brings us to the end of the season. We have some discoveries here. Hopefully we can finally discover something. It looks like we maybe did there. And it is time for the off season. And we are hoping and praying that we are not fired and we get to continue on with our Saskatoon Berries. Season is coming to a close. Our score this season score is 35. I'm pretty sure last year it was 1, so we have made some progress. Top 10 prospect list is published. Do we have anybody on it? I don't think we do yet. No, we are a ways away from that. So top prospects report. Let's see if we have any berries on here. We do. Grady Emerson, number 1 overall pick this season. He is ranked 14th. He did really, really good. Yeah, 295, 6 home runs, 11 RBIs. That was at A ball, so he probably moves to high A. We'll see where we go from there. Anybody else on the berries? We still have Brady Ebel, our first-round pick from last year, who had some struggles this year in A-ball. Probably goes back there to start this season. And as far as pitchers, do we have any? We still have David Montmayer, who really needs to start improving soon. He'll start likely at rookie ball, maybe. Yeah, rookie ball again. His hasn't been good. So hopefully he can actually take a step forward. Trey Rangel was a draft pick. He hasn't played yet for us, but he is a pickup we had in the draft as well. So we are making some progress, definitely making some progress there with our farm system. Top minor league systems report, we are 8th. We've got our top 4 guys there. So maybe we can move up a little bit. We've not far off. If we can add in the international scene, maybe we can make our way into the top 6 here. So we are going to make a change at manager. There's 2 that are out there. Both are former minor league managers who've won awards, Michael Ryan and Robbie Hammock. This would help us finish off one of these goals. The problem is their negativity towards some of the personable and normal kind of reputations. That doesn't really help. Personalities doesn't really help us that much. We're going to have to get rid of another person or 2, but I think we're going to go with Michael Ryan here. That probably means we need to get rid of our scouting director potentially. And yeah, our scouting director and our first base coach. First base coach doesn't bother me too much. The scouting director does bother me a little bit if we have to do that, but we'll maybe let it ride for right now and see what it does in terms of staff cohesion. But we're going to definitely bring in a new manager, and it's hopefully going to be Michael Ryan. Favors prospects, favors hitting, favors defense as well, favors power, and favors the on base. I like the on base. I like the power. We don't have a ton of speed at the moment, so that's why we're going to go with Michael Ryan. We have a Gold Glove, or probably Great Glove Award winner coming out in the announcements. Averson Ortega, our shortstop, has once again won. I believe that is now his second. Yes, it is second Great Glove Award winner at short. We are asked to upgrade over him, but he's been very good defensively. So hopefully he can get himself back with the bat in the next one. So as far as the development lab, we're going to work on Drew Gilbert, his quality of contact, Noelvi Marte's 2-strike approach, Jacob Marcy, who I'd like to get up maybe as an outfielder this year, quality of contact, Grady Emerson, our number 1 pick, gap power, number 1 pick, Brady Ebel from 2 years ago, 2-strike approach, and last year's pitcher, Trey Rangel, to improve the control is what we're working on in the lab. In terms of salary arbitration, it looks like we're going to bring everybody back. Gasser for sure. McKay was hurt. Hopefully he can come back, be a lefty of the pen. Kyle Muller seems to always be hurt, but maybe he can start in AAA or something like that. Grayson Rodriguez for sure. Wisniewski's kind of depth. Mudlinski for the bullpen. The catchers, I'm going to let them actually both walk at this time, and we are going to bring back some new catchers and see if we can figure this out. Actually, I'll keep Jake Rogers, I think. We're not going to be bringing back Joey Bart. We'll keep Jake Rogers as our backup catcher. And Blaine Krim is the other one at this point in time. I'm not sure what we're going to do with him. 1.2 million, so we'll bring him back. Edward Julian, Geloff for sure. All this is going to be depth at the minor league system as well. The only free agency we have is Joel Payamps. We're going to let him walk. And then Yuki Matsui, we've offered a contract extension. He wants 3 years at 1.6 million per year. I really like that. I'm going to bring him back. And all these minor league free agents are absolutely long gone. We have indeed re-signed Yuki Matsui, so that adds a lefty to our bullpen. I really like this signing. Very cheap, 1.6 million per year. Your AL MVP is Wyatt Langford, and in the NL, it is Michael Harris II. So it looks like we're going to make a deal here. We're going to send out first baseman Blaine Krim, who I don't really know where Blaine Krim fits for us anymore. He had no time in the major leagues where he's hit league average. An original Barry, but not really a big crowd favorite by any means. We're going to send him out for catcher Keibert Ruiz. And I think part of the reason Ruiz is available, he has been league average or better, except for this season, but 2.2 WAR is still very solid, 15 home runs or so, and 60 or so RBIs each season. His contract, he signed a 10-year deal. He still has 61 million left on it. But when you look at it, 5 million, 5 million, 7, 9, 9, 12, there's a team option for 14 million. I'm not too worried about that. So yes, the money is a little higher maybe for a catcher, but really not that bad at all. Blaine Krim is going to start costing us more in terms of contract value anyway. So we're going to move out Blaine Krim and bring in our new catcher in Keibert Ruiz and really improve on that position. I think this makes a ton of sense for us. In terms of Hall of Fame ballot, here is our ballot. Beltran, Beltre, Burley, Felix Hernandez, Matt Holliday, Andrew Jones, Joe Mauer, Buster Posey, Jimmy Rollins, and CC Sabathia for our Hall of Fame vote. So big offseason news. We have signed a back-end bullpen guy, Jesus Figueroa, 27-year-old Cuban. Look at the stuff, the movement, the control, fastball, curveball, big time right. He throws really, really hard, 97 to 99 mile an hour. This is what we need at the back end of the bullpen. And I think he comes fairly cheap. 4 years, 36 million. So 9 million a season takes us through age 30. I think this is a huge get. I have been finding the international guys do tend to sign a little bit cheaper. So I think this is big, big, big move for us. Jesus Figueroa. Fans may not be wondering a little bit what he's going to be like, but I think this is a huge get for the back end of our bullpen, even for a guy who's relatively inexperienced. Draft lottery, this is big for us. We had the second worst record in the league, and we have finished in the second place in terms of the draft lottery as well. Washington has jumped from ninth all the way to first. Thankfully, we stay at second, so that's really, really important for us. The Royals, who were actually supposed to be first, dropped down to fourth. This is very big for us. We have the opportunity then to have another really deep draft to go with what I think was a very deep draft for us last year, add a lot of potential talent to this roster. So big, big news there. So finishing second in the draft lottery. Rule 5 draft time. We have the number 2 pick. So we'll see if maybe there's a player we would like to add to bring to the major league roster. Keep in mind, we'd have to keep him there for the full season or offer him back to the other team. So we are going to use a Rule 5 pick on Luis Lara. He's solid contact here, maybe not the most power in the world, very good speed, but what I really like, he can really play good defense. He has a solid enough arm. He can play left, center, right. This is kind of a 4th, 5th outfielder type looking for us. He hasn't played above high A ball, which worries me a little bit, but he's still relatively young, only 22 years old, and has had good production at A and high A ball. So I think this is really going to help us just as a backup sort of outfielder, 4th, 5th outfield type with good speed, can play any position in the outfield, switch hitter. So I think this works out very well for us. So we have added some minor league depth actually this season. Brady Singer has agreed to a minor league deal. I think that is very good for us. So has Cal Quantrill. So we've got a couple of guys that will be at the AAA level for us that are going to have major league experience that will really help us, I think. Unfortunately, Dylan Cease has signed with the Giants. He was someone we were pushing hard for, but he wanted a 5-year deal. He ended up getting $16.2 million per season with the Giants. And we just didn't have the budget for it, $16.2 million. And I didn't want to pay $16.2 million to a 37-year-old pitcher at the end of the deal. Hall of Fame results. Adrian Beltre has made the Hall of Fame his 3rd year of voting. Andrew Jones did not. He dropped off. Yet Sabathia is getting close. Mauer, Beltran, Rodriguez. A few other guys starting to make their way up there. But it is only Adrian Beltre this season. More depth, signing Ali Sanchez. We added Tommy Edman. We've assigned MJ Melendez. A whole bunch of minor league depth for us right now. I think that's going to be something we need to do to help us going into the next season. So we have got out and signed ourselves another starting pitcher who we've seen before. We're going to bring back Walker Buehler. It's only a 1-year deal at $5.5 million. I think this really helps. It just gives us another starter to really help in our rotation. We know he isn't this tremendous talent by any means that we maybe would tend to expect right now, but he is well known to the fans. They do appreciate him. He finished off a decent year last year with Indianapolis, of course, the former Oakland team. Finishes a bug league starter. He probably comes in as a 4th starter for us. I think this really helps. I think we're making some progress in the rotation. So we take a look here. That would put us in terms of the rotation. We'd have Grayson Rodriguez, Robert Gasser, Griffin Canning. And then I think Contreras and Jack Leiter will bat it out for the number 5 spot with guys like Cal Quantrill and Brady Singer, who we brought in. And Walker Buehler probably slots in as the number 4 guy. And that gives us some guys, some long guys for the bullpen. And it gives us some depth at AAA, which we really haven't had up to this point. So I think we have set ourselves into a much better rotation this season. We have signed our first international free agent, Jesus Santoyo, a center fielder, very balanced hitter. It looks like solid enough power. Looks like maybe more of a corner outfielder in the end because of the speed, but a switch hitter as well. So Jesus Santoyo will join our international complex. I think that's a big step forward for us. Finally got it done. Another international signing, Samuel Gamboa, 70 overall potential. He is a right-handed starter, if I remember correctly. Yes, 6'6", 205, so he can really bring it. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker. Very, very big signing for us. So we pick up 2 really solid players in the international signing period. And one more cheeky little international signing here, Jesus Arvizu. 57 potential. He's a reliever, 17 years old. So looks very, very good. Solid potential in the stuff and control. Fastball slider guy. What is it? 7 foot, 240 pound, right? I don't know what to think of that. 7 foot tall righty. He's going to take a while to develop. But that's it for our international signings. That's topped out our budget. I think we did very, very well. Picked up 3 really high-end potential players. So we have made it to spring training. I'm going to do that off camera. We'll come back and we will have opening day in season 4 for the Berries. We are hoping to play 500 ball. I think we've got a much better team. We'll show you the full lineup, how spring training plays out with all our depth signings and everything goes along with it. Thank you so much for tuning in to all these Berries videos. I greatly appreciate all the support. Make sure you go check out some of my previous content, especially my expansion video, which everybody seems to be loving at this time. Until next time, make sure you comment down below. Go Berries, go. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.